We begin in Tshwane. That government's multi-party coalition is set to table a motion of no confidence against the incumbent council speaker, Mncedi Ndzwanana. The Action SA has been tasked, I should say, with leading that process. The parties accuse Ndzwanana of failing to fulfil his duties as a Speaker of Council. Let's speak now to Ziniko Mhlaba, who is at the Council chambers. Ziniko, good morning to you. So the motion of no confidence against the Speaker will be debated today. Who's the sponsor of this motion of no confidence, and how much support is it likely to get?
Well, clearly the sponsor of this particular motion of no confidence is Action SA here in Tshwane. However, it is a motion that is supported by the Action SA partners in this particular council, and I'm talking about the multi-party coalition. So when you look at the members of the parties involved, engaged or part of that particular coalition is the Democratic Alliance, is Action SA, Freedom Front Plus, ACDP. So these are the parties that are actually behind this motion or are likely to be in support of this particular motion. You remember that the executive mayor here in Tshwane is coming from that particular multi-party coalition, and I'm talking about Mayor Brink, who actually won convincingly the mayorship against a representative or a candidate from the faction or from the team that is supported by the Economic Freedom Fighters, the African National Congress and PAC and many other small parties. So when it comes to the parties behind this motion, it's the parties that are actually also in charge of the city at the executive level under the leadership of Mayor Brink. So when it comes to that issue, you are asking only the issue of numbers. When I looked at the statistics, it's very likely that the motion will still support the current mayor, or actually, remember, as I said, there's council, there's legislative arm of the council, then the executive arm of the council. Currently, the multi-party is reigning over the executive arm of this particular council, while the ANC and EFF and many other small parties are actually presiding over the legislative processes under the Speaker Ndzwanana, who will have to defend himself, will have to fight it off, will have to fend off the motion of no confidence, which will be tabled against him. So when it comes to that issue, you can say only here and comfortable so that there are two centers of power, because the executive is at a different coalition, and the legislative processes of this particular council are under a different set of political parties. The numbers, if you look at the numbers which Councillor Brink got, he got about 105 or 6 votes compared to actually beating the other faction convincingly. Remember that now, if you're asking me if those are the numbers that the DA and its allies have, how did the city then end up having a speaker who's not from the same faction? Let me give you a background. Remember that when they were voting for the speaker, the DA was coming from a process or from an era where they believed that some members of the DA in this council voted against party lines. So they then took a decision that we're going to mark our ballots in a manner that is going to make each and every councillor account in terms of whether they voted correctly according to the party line. So that's how, and those votes were ended up declared as invalid, and hence now Ndzwanana got into this process. So that's the situation. Whether enough moves have been made to convince other coalition councillors to vote against their party line or not has been done enough, we'll have to wait and see. But as it stands now, the multi-party has the numbers too.
Ziniko Mhlaba live for us at the Tshwane Council ahead of that debate of a motion of no confidence against the Speaker.